In today's game, we see for the first time a three-time NFL All-Pro in his first 3 years in the league. While doing this, he's also been to 3 straight Pro Bowls, yet he goes so unnoticed. Welcome back to Footballers. I'm AJ, and this is Rise to Stardom, Quenton Nelson. Growing up, Nelson was the youngest of 4. He was a big baby at that, weighing around 10 pounds. Being the youngest, he learned quickly to defend himself when his older brother would pick on him. His older brother actually turned out to be a 6'2", 240-pound linebacker for the University of Villanova. So if that doesn't say enough, I don't know what will. This toughened him up and gave him that nastiness that he uses on the field today. Quenton was actually always a big kid growing up and was forced to play 2 grade levels up in the Pop Warner League, and he also had to lose 20 pounds each year, which, if you've ever tried to lose weight, is not the easiest thing to do. This led to high school, where he attended Homedale High, his hometown school. After his freshman year, he transferred to Red Bank Catholic High School. The head football coach was ecstatic to see him there, and he said this. "You could just tell he was different," Portella said. "That's the only way I could say it. You just knew there was potential from him then. He had God-given athletic talent back then, but what helped him even more was that he was mentally talented too. You don't get that often from kids that young." Meanwhile, he was also an absolute stud basketball player with his athleticism. I mean, just imagine trying to guard a 6'5", 300-pound power forward who could dime it like Steve Nash. I mean, his senior season playing, he averaged 12.9 points per game and 7 rebounds, where he led his team in both categories. And on top of that, he averaged 3 assists. He was almost impossible to coach against, as going to games you would assume he would just be a dominant post force. Yet he wasn't, says the coach from St. Rose High School. Here's what he had to say. "That is on me," said Devaney. "We sat back in the first half, and we were worried about Quenton Nelson. He's a big boy, but he's more of a passer than a scorer. He started to be an assist guy." Q, as he goes by, had more offensive rebounds than he had defensive. He had 90 offensive boards and 79 defensive. Even though he seemed to be a stud basketball player, he was even better at his true passion, football. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, before we get into his football career, he also trained in Taekwondo to improve his hands before entering his first year in college. So imagine trying to go against a 6'5", 300-pound jiu-jitsu master, stud basketball player, and all-pro offensive guard. I could not imagine it, and I don't want to, frankly. In high school, Quenton was a 4-star recruit who was recruited by schools like Penn State and Oregon. He played both sides of the ball and was a dominant force no matter where he was at on the field. In his 3 years at Red Bank, he lost a total of 3 games. The kid blocked like a bull and just drove people down the field with no problem. He was a pancake machine, and his ability to get off the ball was kind of insane. He was like a bullet out of a gun, you could say. His strength was through the roof, as he was able to bench the NFL combine weight, 225 pounds, 26 times before he even graduated high school. And to top it off, his footwork was great. There was nothing to not like about this kid. He committed to Notre Dame, which was no surprise to scouts as he's from the area, and he was projected to go there.
Oh, hi. I'm Quenton Nelson. I'm from Southside, Homedale, Jersey. I played offensive tackle for the Caseys of Red Bank Catholic. Friends call me Q. I chose to attend Notre Dame because there's no other university that will demand my very best, academically, athletically, and spiritually. I am Q, and I am Irish.
He finished high school with many accolades, such as being selected to the Junior All-Americans and being a 247 Sports top 247 player. Moving on to his college career. In his first year in college, he spent working on his game and decided to redshirt. He was one of only 4 freshmen to do this, so his freshman year, he just stuck to the scout team and played his role. His sophomore year is where Q really came into his own. He played in 12 games and started in 11 of them. Notre Dame's offensive line was a finalist for one of the most prestigious awards for an offensive line, the Joe Moore Award. He basically only missed 2 games this year due to an ankle injury, but he didn't even miss the whole games. He missed partial time, but that's besides the point. The O-line led Notre Dame as it had 200 rush yards per game, their best since the year 2000, and it all started up front. In his junior season and last at Notre Dame, the team regressed a little bit, but Quenton did not. He started in all 12 games for the Irish while being team captain, second team All-American, Sports Illustrated second team All-American, and Notre Dame Offensive Lineman of the Year. He was nothing short of amazing, which led him to enter into the 2018 NFL Draft. And 10.3-inch hands. At the Combine, he tweaked his hamstring, so he decided against running the 40-yard dash. He had an incredible 36 reps of 225 pounds on the bench and a 26.5-inch vertical. He had a pro comparison to NFL legend Larry Allen and was projected to go into the top 10 of the NFL Draft. And in the 2018 NFL Draft,
with the sixth pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Quenton Nelson, guard, Notre Dame.
Quenton Nelson started his career out with a bang. He was a dog and was one of the best offensive lines in football when it comes to protecting the quarterback. He was also the only player on his team to have played every single offensive snap. And with his hard work, he was selected to the first team NFL All-Pro and a Pro Bowl team, something not achieved by many. And in his most recent year, he once again played in all 16 games, totaling 1,082 downs played, which was 40 more than last year, and he only allowed one sack. And for the third time, he achieved something that I believe has never been done before, and that's becoming an All-Pro for the third time in his first 3 years. He also got another Pro Bowl under his belt. And being an offensive lineman myself, I don't know about you guys, but I think that's just a huge inspiration because you don't hear the offensive line even get talked about. So for him to go 3 times NFL All-Pro, it's something insane and something we've never seen before. And he's probably one of the most slept-on players in the NFL. And thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. I have a personal channel called Clutch Hitters where me and my partner post content like this regularly for NFL and NBA content. So if you would all like to go check that out, there'll be a link in the description and it would be greatly appreciated. And this is also one of the first videos I've ever made, so if you could all leave feedback down in the comment section, that would also be greatly appreciated. Thanks again, and have a great day. Footballers out.